Thank you guys for joining us on this fierce, stable, brave, and
Okay.
playful
You're
journey.
just going off the cuff there.
Yeah,
Shut up.
I know. I'm looking at your
My lettering?
your poster, your
Yeah.
lettering poster.
Yeah.
Every time I'm here, I look at it. I'm like,
Yeah, that's initially what I thought I was gonna stand for 2020. So now it's just become a reminder of how ridiculous I am sometimes.
How is that stability going?
Let's not talk about that on this episode. Good. Because last episode we got really political and really heavy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you touched, I actually have a separate Instagram for lettering.
I saw that.
Yeah, and because selfies and lettering probably don't. So I asked people that followed me to just give me a word that they wanted their 2020 to stand for, and I would just letter it.
I like
Actually,
that you
mine.
put shine.
I
This
don't
is
remember.
what we're doing right now.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
So.
But actually, my word was stability. So, like, it's funny that you asked that. Because...
If you want to know the story, send us a Gmail.
Like, I'm as stable as an IKEA table.
With two people that have never seen IKEA first. At all, sorry.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I heard about IKEA, people were always making jokes like, it's so impossible to put together. And then when I moved to Iceland and I bought my first IKEA stuff and I was putting together, I'm like, bitch, it's not that difficult. It's not. If you follow the instructions.
Wait, but the instructions can be sometimes misleading.
Are they?
A bit. I mean, for people like me, maybe. Like, I built this.
Let's see how wobbly it is.
Yeah. This commode, this set of drawers,
Dresser?
dresser, I don't know. It took me about 3 hours.
Were you drinking when you were putting it together?
No, I was completely sober.
That's hilarious.
And
3 hours?
I just kept screwing things in the wrong places.
It's... Listen, the pictures are very detailed.
No,
if
they
you look
are
at
not.
it...
They are not. There are 2 holes in these things. One for the wooden tack things, and the other one for the actual screws.
Yes. I have one of these.
Yeah. And they are the same size. At least to me.
But they're... See, no. Mm-mm. I'm gonna reject that. I'm standing with IKEA and I'm saying, listen, you have to look at the instructions because they will tell you, put it on the top right here or put this in the bottom. Like, it's very clear if you pay attention to detail. And as a graphic designer, I would expect...
Getting called out.
I sure am. Because Martin's the same way. He's like... he's very detail oriented in some things. And when it comes to putting IKEA stuff together, or, I mean, anything, he loses his shit. And
I was paying attention. Look,
patience.
I built it. Even though it took me 3 hours, I built it. I had nothing else to do on that day. So I had all the time in my life to make it. To build it.
Obviously, it took you 3 hours.
Yeah. But I wasn't in a hurry.
Okay.
And it's there.
So maybe for 2020, what you should have put or should have chose is patience.
Oh, yeah.
And attention to detail.
You are the worst.
Listen.
No, shut up.
Were we gonna do the intro?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm not
Now
gonna
I'm
laugh.
have to cut that part.
No, don't cut it. Keep it in.
Of course I have.
Oh my God. See, I make mistakes and I'm like, keep it in.
No.
He makes mistakes and he's like, no, I'm cutting it. No, you can't cut it out. Okay, I'm quiet.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Welcome to Listen, a podcast of two attention hogs that are fighting to get the spotlight. I'm Dan.
I'm Jimmy.
And the first episode, you're also laughing when I was saying the intro.
It's the whole thing. Don't laugh when, like, you know, certain times you're not supposed to laugh, but then it makes it even more funny. I can't help it. It's like a disease or something. It's like I love scaring people. There's nothing that gives me more joy. Why would you do that?
It's like
it's hilarious.
No. As a Venezuelan, you don't want to do that. Like, we have a series of fears, and like, oh my God, I'm just gonna die here. Oh, this is it. Like, I'm just gonna get robbed, killed, kidnapped, and you go and do that. No. Like, I didn't move out of my country to get scared.
Oh, listen.
If you ever do that, I'm gonna punch you. Like, it's a promise.
I'm pretty fast. I got a little bit extra weight, but bitch, these feet can carry me far.
I've been going to the gym and all of that.
But my dad has good genes as far as running, so even though I don't do sports, it's in my body.
I don't know. You also don't want to run away from a Venezuelan.
You'd be like, you can outrun me, but I know where you fucking live. Exactly. I like wake up, I'm gonna check on my orchids, and there's Danilo clipping them off.
I'll burn them down.
Bitch. I would come after you. We're starting a war right now. I'm like in my mind thinking about like, what would I do? What would be my revenge attack? You burn my orchids?
I don't know. Larus is off limits.
Completely off limits.
But the orchids are it.
Listen, Larus would probably whoop your ass.
Probably.
That boy is hilarious, but he is very feisty. I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, this is not a parenting podcast. We already had an episode on that.
Yes, we did.
We kind of want to move away from that.
Can we talk about obsessions? #orchids.
Let's. You just want to have your orchids. The orchid episodes.
I am really excited because my orchid that I just bought. So I bought 2 more.
2 more.
I'm not gonna say 2 because I bought 2 more.
Is this a thing that's gonna unravel? Are you gonna unpack this?
Listen, I might have around 19 orchids.
What?
On top of the other plants that I have. So like I have. If you come to our place, it's in all fairness, it's not just me that has plants, but orchids. I don't know what happened. I moved out on my own at one point, and I had an orchid, and then I had time to focus on something, and the flower dropped, so I was learning about them, and then somehow I just thought, like, these plants are amazing. And then I learned that there's more than just a phalaenopsis, and it became an obsession.
So I'm guessing that since you said that you had something to focus on, it reminds you that you once achieved something?
Listen, I'm constantly achieving. I'm that bitch. I wake up in the morning and I achieve something. And to be honest, for other people, it may not seem like an achievement, but for me, my achievement of the day, riding that fucking bike here. I'm still waiting on that car. I'm riding that car so I can go to the flower shop and get into the orchid. But you know what I did?
What?
So, I'm in an orchid group, and both, like, global orchid group. I'm in like 4.
Global Orchid Group.
Yes.
Okay, you're listening to yourself.
Shut up. I don't have any shame in it. I'm past that point. It's like, I'm like talking about orchids. I go to somebody's house, and if I see an orchid, I'm like, give me just a second, and I'll go look at it. Anyway, the point is, somebody in the Icelandic one posted that this specific orchid is in Iceland. They didn't say it was in Iceland. They just said it was at this shop. But I'm not kidding. I've had dreams about this orchid for a fucking year. One year, I've been dreaming about getting this orchid. I don't know what it is. It's just strange and odd and beautiful and amazing. And also the leaves are pretty. So, I mean, now that I'm hearing myself, I do feel it's a little crazy. So I'm going to try and finish this story so you can say me your obsession.
I just want to point out that before we started recording, you were showing me pictures of your orchids. like a proud parent. Like I've seen like 2 pictures of your actual kid.
Shut up.
I've seen more orchid pictures.
Oh my god. It sounds worse than it actually is. Or
well, Jimmy,
is it?
This is actually an orchid intervention. Your parents are gonna walk in. Martin is gonna walk in. And just gonna be like, I love you, but you have a problem.
Listen, when he hears this, he's gonna laugh and he's gonna be smiling because it's gonna be like,
finally.
Exactly. And my grandmother, before, she doesn't know I have 2 more orchids. Because like 5 orchids ago, she was like, Jimmy, this is a problem.
Like she saw it coming.
Yeah. Because my thing is like, I'll buy one and then I'll tell her about it. And she's like, you got another one? And at first we were like talking about it. She's like, oh, they're so cool. They're amazing. I don't know. I talked to mine. Blah, 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 blah. Which, that sounds crazy too, right? Anyway, I didn't give her shit about it. For the record, let me just throw that out there.
But talking to plants, apparently it's a good thing.
Yes.
Because you release carbon dioxide, CO2, and I hope I'm saying it right. I went to engineering school and I did chemistry, but I think it's CO2. Mm-hmm. When you breathe out, and plants eat that.
See?
So talking to plants,
okay, so she's
it's
not
proven
crazy.
To be good.
Are you just saying my grandma's not crazy? I am?
You just have a bias. Like, she knows that talking to plants is good for them.
Mm-hmm. But that's why I'm buying the plants, because I know other people won't. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's your prerogative.
She gets very, like, another plant, but then I try and buy another orchid for my mom because I can't buy more. But the point is, I dreamt about this orchid. I sent a message to another plant shop that gets lots of exotic flowers and stuff, or plants in general. And I'm like, are you going to get this one maybe? And they said, we'll let you know if we do. And then the post. It's in Iceland. I almost left that moment to go get the orchid, but the shop was closed. I finished work and went directly to the store. Spent 30 minutes checking all the foliage, the flower itself, and ended up with 2. I will say this. They were not cheap. But I would buy 2 more if I could.
Oh my god. Yeah.
What's your obsession?
I have obsessions, like they are tied to like specific points.
Okay.
Like my current obsession is, first, not touching the microphone. I hope you didn't hear that. But another obsession that I have is that I get into these rabbit holes of these Facebook videos of like the 5-minute
my
DIY
God.
things.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I get on serious rabbit holes. And it's just like, it's more because I get outraged because these hacks,
Yes!
this quotation mark hacks, are just like, why are we doing this?
Right.
How is society come to this point where we are doing these things? Like, there was one that I was just like, there was like a mix of several. Like, it was a video that lasted for what I feel was about 2 days. And it come to a point where it's just like, making DIY shoes. So it's just like, okay, this might be at least interesting. As a creative person, I like seeing the process of making things. And I was like, okay, they're just gonna, because making shoes, like shoemaking is a craft, and
Yes.
and I'm not gonna do DIY shoes any day, but it's fun to watch. So yeah, make your own DIY shoes. And the very first step was like, so we have this 3D printer, and we just print something, and it's like, what? Yeah, let me just dust off my 3D printer over here, so I can make a foot, like a model of my feet, so I can just make shoes that fit me. And just like, what? I remember getting so outraged. I was just like, oh, screw this. and I also, and it's also like, I love and I hate myself at the same time that I'm getting outraged at these things.
Yes.
Because I get this old man yells at cloud moments.
Exactly.
Where I'm just like, why am I getting outraged? Why don't I just click out?
Right.
And yet here we are, watching this 3D printed shoe as a life hack, which is not.
So it's an obsession / pet peeve.
Yes.
Ooh, a 2 for 1.
It's 2 for 1.
But those videos are so stupid.
I know. And they're everywhere. Everywhere. And they're also like, they just mesh into different, that you can see parts of one video in another video. Like, I've been in so many rabbit holes that I can see, I can say, I've seen this one before. This one is in another video. This is, like, I am basically gonna start like calling them out on their content. You're just like recycling your content.
Yes.
Come on, guys, step it up.
You know, I hate the hacks. Yeah, the quote unquote life hacks, where it's like, that was more trouble than doing just the actual task.
I know. It's not a hack if you have to reinvent the wheel to do the initial task.
Like, you literally have to go out and carve a wheel instead of being like, oh wait, I have a spare in the trunk. Come on.
And I get so outraged at that.
You're the old man.
I know.
I love it.
And I can't get out because I get focused on the rage. And it's just like, why? Like, it's not like, it's as if my life is not as exciting.
Oh my God.
But it is.
You know what? But is it?
No. I like to think it is.
You're the old man, I'm the old woman. I'm thinking about plants. Oh shit. We are just aging ourselves with this episode.
Yes.
But speaking of I love Lucy. Sorry, I just had to throw it out there. That's another obsession of mine. Movie shows, but old ones.
Old ones?
Yeah.
Like what?
I Love Lucy.
Yeah, of course, but...
Also, Bewitched. I really liked Bewitched. I Dream of Jimi. But then I kind of, like, when I went back to watch it now, I'm like, so subservient to this.
You're just gonna get...
Oh my God. Don't get me political. Sorry.
It's not a good idea to watch the shows that were, like, so old with the eyes of now.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, I think I Love Lucy is still funny to this day. But I was in one of my classes. and we were talking about like, I think sexism or something, and I was like, well, you know what? I Love Lucy isn't sexist. I think I watched an episode the other day and it's not sexist. Then I went back to watch it like the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no shit, yeah. No. This is completely they're like, you know, women, what was it? He's like, go make the dinner or something.
Yeah.
And like, oh.
Maybe not.
I mean, and it's like women can't do this and they're like, oh, why don't you go shopping for a dress?
Yeah. And
although I wish I could have that life. Let me go shop for a dress real quick.
Here, have something. Buy yourself something pretty or whatever.
Exactly. Although I wouldn't want to cook, so I take that back.
Yeah.
Who's backtracking now?
Yeah, I remember, you know, now that you mentioned Bewitched and I Dream of Jimi, in Venezuelan TV, they would just put these two shows back to back.
Yeah.
Not side to side. Back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a kid, I could never tell them apart.
Yeah.
I would just confuse them.
I mean, two magical ladies.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That serve a guy.
Damn.
Did I just drop a truth bomb or something?
You did, because I was like, I thought it was all so sweet and so great. I mean, okay, it is a product of its time. I get that.
Yeah. Like the other day, I went into another rabbit hole, but this time it was Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Tom and Jerry.
Somebody shared a Tom and Jerry video, and I just watched it. It was like a compilation, like a very long one. And when you see like the characters and the humor, you're like, this didn't really age very well.
No, it did not.
but you can't, you can't judge it with the eyes of now. It was something that was part of its time back then.
I mean, they were chopping off tails and heads and blowing each other up
and poisoning one another.
Yes.
But then I grew up later when I was 17, 18, and Happy Tree Friends was a thing where it was just like cute things that would just like chop their heads off and just like.
What? What is that?
Did you never watch Happy Tree Friends?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Or South Park? I mean.
I know South Park.
Yeah, but
my dad took me to that movie, by the way, and the people were like,
"Are you sure?
Are you sure? Are you taking them all?" And he's like, "I want 4 motherfucking tickets." We sat there, and I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah, but Happy Tree Friends were a series of short animation things that were like characters that seemed to be very cute, and they looked like baby cartoons. But at some point during that short, things would get super dark. Like somebody would like eat a piece of pie, and it would just be like a bear trap, and it would just like rip their faces apart, and it would just like be blood everywhere, and it's just like, I'll show you later.
I wish you could see my facial expressions right now. I mean, but questionable choices, as our lady Tatiana would say.
3 episodes in, and we're just like putting drag queens here and there.
God, we're so queer.
My God.
But what about a positive obsession do you have?
A positive
besides
obsession.
your calligraphy, but your calligraphy is also, would you say that's an obsession, or would you say it's more of a career path?
I would love to do it. I've been trying to get better at it, but I'm just gonna say life happens. Then it sounds like an excuse, but it's not. So it's just I want to do it, but the stability part that we talked about before. it's still in process. So that would be a topic for another podcast.
Yes.
But I would love to do it. Like, I want to take my graphic designer career, if I ever retake it, hopefully. Although I really enjoy where I am right now. Yeah. So this is not like, please don't fire me. No, I really enjoy where I am right now. But if I were to retake my graphic design career, I would like to take it more into the visual thing. I want to create like stuff like, lettering and things like that, and have it like be my style. Like, people would just say like, oh, this is Dan work.
Dan original.
Yeah, a Dan original or something like that.
Would you like to do, like, if somebody... Okay, so for example, when we made... Martin and I made a music video. Oh, no, we didn't make a music video. We made the song.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you guys, listeners, don't know this, but the song that opens up our podcast was made by Jimi and Martin.
Mm-hmm. I mean, mainly Martin. You don't hear my singing in there yet, so...
It's a good thing.
Listen, bitch. You listen to it and you're like, oh, listen to you. Of course, you threw shade and said, singing on pitch. Don't you even start with me. But we were looking for somebody to make a digital video.
Yeah.
Would you want to be like in something like that, or more like creating? No, like for the choir.
No, it would be more of something like intervening stuff, like like the posters, or like I would take something and like write on it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, one of the things that I've done in my lettering Instagram is just like I take.
Hey, what's your letter Instagram name? Oh, by the way,
it's be ready to hear letters, not because it's a whole different story. But it's at DVL. It's a let's start again. I was not ready for that. I was not ready for that plug. Sorry. So it's at DVZNCNDO, which it's a Spanish word. It's a Spanish thing. So
when you say Z, you mean Z, right?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Sorry. It's DV, the little one.
The little
buff.
V?
D.
Oh yeah.
V Z N C N D O. We'll put it on our socials, maybe. Because we just wasted a bunch of time spelling things, and you were like, "What?"
Exactly. And like, I still didn't get it.
Yeah, I've also proven that I can't spell. So I'm sorry, guys. This is a mess.
Oh my god. I mean, typical.
Yeah. So you caught me off guard with this plot. I take song lyrics of songs that I like, or lyrics that have just like given me like this mind blown moment, and I just made them into lettering. So, for example, I mean, you can't see, you guys, the listeners, can't see the clock, but I intervened like a clock there on the wall with a phrase that says "Time means nothing," which is from a song by a band called We Are Scientists. Oh. Then the song is called After Hours.
Okay.
Oh. And stuff like that.
I like that clock a lot. Yeah. We should take a picture of it and put it on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Because if we're referencing it,
yeah. But
people would be like, I don't want to see this fucking clock.
You guys don't.
I'm taking a picture of it, whatever.
But yeah, let's go back to like obsessions and stuff, or pet peeves. Like a pet peeve that I had back home in Venezuela. I lived in a place that was very hot.
Yeah.
And you know, it gets there's air conditioning everywhere. So I would get so mad when people would just walk into a room and not close the door and let the air get out.
You know what my mom would say? She would say, "I'm not." What would she say? "I'm not air conditioning the whole neighborhood. Shut the door."
I would just get so mad. And another thing that would just drive me off the wall was back then when I was living in Venezuela. I shared a room with my brother for a bunch of time. And he would just open the closet doors, get his clothes, and not close them back. That would just be, why are you doing this? Like, do you hate me?
I cannot stand that. Like, the whole, God, there I go with the lip smacking thing again. I did not realize I did it that much until we did this.
I can't spell you lick smack.
So I can't stand just the fact, especially when we're older and we're adults, the idea that somebody, it's okay every now and again to take something out and then not put it back, but when you just, I wonder, people that take stuff out and put it somewhere, wherever, do they do that on purpose? Like, do they not realize that that they're an adult and that they need to, like, clean up after themselves, you know? Like, shut the door, put the freaking bowl in the dishwasher, or, like, you know, whatever it is.
I mean, it's okay to just leave some things for a bit.
Yeah,
like,
for a bit.
It's not, in my opinion, like, it's not that you have to, you know, do things like right away, or maybe like some other thing happens, or but
you can breathe.
Yeah, but don't let 2 days go by and have like something in the sink.
Exactly.
That's just like, no, that's just complete no.
Oh, you know what I hate?
What?
Oh, and I don't know if it's my sister that, like, instilled it in me. I hope she's listening to this, 'cause but it's also interesting because it also touches on sort of it's not an obsession of mine, but an obsession of a lot of people's, and something that I do dabble in. It's the mouth sounds. Like, so if you're eating and you're smacking, we call it smacking. You know, when you like.
Yeah. Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, there is nothing in the world that. Okay, I'm being dramatic, but that drives me up the wall than hearing somebody smack. And if it's a grown-ass adult, you better believe. Better. I mean, I'm giving the mama look. I'm looking at you like, what is the matter with you? Close your damn mouth.
You should know better.
Yes, exactly. But, okay, so then, which then bleeds into, like, obsessions, ASMR, and mouth sounds. Which...
Like you like it, or
I do. It's not with everybody, but there are some people that I listen to that I was not expecting it, and I really like it.
I went when ASMR became a thing. I went into it with an open mind, and it's just like, no, like, it doesn't do anything for me, but it's something I am not going to accompany other people with. You're like, no, but maybe not.
You listen. I'm gonna send you a video. Because there is one guy's video that I could not, like, and, like, if you listen to it on your headphones, I could swear to God that I could feel his breath on my neck. Yeah. And I know some people don't like that, but, like, I get the chills just thinking about it.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you know, the chills on someone's neck. The chills on someone's neck part or whatever just reminds me of something. Like, I hate getting massages. I hate them.
What?
I hate them. Like, maybe because there was this one moment that happened to me when I was a teenager.
Trauma.
Maybe trauma. I don't know. Like, I was just getting a haircut, and, you know, minding my own business, getting a haircut. You know, everything happens. It's normal. And I got a haircut with this woman, and then she started just like massaging me. She was like, this is part of the service. Because it was apparently like a new barber shop, and it was supposed to be bougie, like upper class and whatever. And I walked in there because I think I'm better than everybody.
Surprise, surprise.
So
that's what you get.
That's what I get. So this woman started massaging me out of the blue, and I just went there for a haircut. And I was just like, why are you doing this? No, it's just part of the service. No, let's not do that. and then she just kept going. Because
she kept going when you told her no?
Yeah, but for a bit. I mean, yeah. But
now it was sounding real creepy now.
Yeah. Maybe because she was like contractually obligated to give a massage. but it's just like, no, that's just not. And then from that moment on, like, I get very like invasive feelings around getting a massage, like, and I hate them. You know what? I'm probably super tense from all of these years.
That's probably what happened. You probably need like an actual massage. You need like an actual massage where you go into it with like the mindset. Because I would tell you one thing. A year ago, I met this guy through a friend somehow of the neighbor. And he was going to massage school. This really chill, really nice, calm guy. And I just felt this connection with him. Like, this guy's really nice. So we invited him, like, to coffee and to chat with us. And I was like, yeah, cool. We can be friends with him. And then he was like, yeah. So I'm going to massage school. And if you guys would ever like, I can come to your home and give you guys a free massage. Bitch, I had the time of my life. No. It was like, because he had to get practice hours.
Yeah, I understand, but no thanks.
Oh no, I cannot. But you're like my aunt. My aunt cannot handle it. I almost bought her a massage for Christmas one year, and then I told her, I'm like, I'm sorry, I almost got you a massage for Christmas. She was like, thank God you didn't.
in my previous job, before working at a kindergarten, we had an event that it took a bunch of time to prepare and everything, and the team that was working there at that event just gave me a gift card for a massage at one of the hotels here in the city. They didn't know that because I don't go out there telling people that I hate massages.
Exactly.
So I just got it and said, oh, thank you so much. And then when I opened it at home, I said, oh my God, it's a massage. Okay, sure. But I went there with the image of them being so happy to give me the card and all of that. Mm-hmm. And I went there with an open mind. And I didn't feel creeped out. Mm-hmm. But it was just like, maybe not. Let's just... Like I enjoyed it, maybe because I was associating more the good intentions of the people just giving it to me, because they didn't know, they just wanted to do something nice. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. It was nice. And Bjork knows we all deserved the massage or something after that particular event.
Wait, was it an event for Bjork?
No. Oh, I say Björk just to not say God or something else.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because I was like, wait, I figured that's what you were doing, but I just wanted to check the status of it. Okay. So then we can make that religion. A thing.
I believe in Björk.
I mean...
I pray to her.
Who doesn't? I know there's going to be a lot of people like, I don't. But we don't want to hear your opinions because this is our podcast.
Exactly. If you want to give your opinions, just... Open up. In fact, don't open it. Just make your own podcast.
Exactly. Or you can comment. Yeah. Because we're going to create a conversation. We're creating a conversation here. We maybe won't like your comment, but that's okay.
Driving away our listeners. Oh my God. But I wanna go back to the smacking thing, because I had this in my mind for a bit, and I understand, like, smacking is really bad, and it's, but one thing that I also completely hate is the whole manner and etiquette cultures of things. Like, it's just like, if you put this fork here or there, would you say it's not? You don't. It's not polite if you do.
Yeah.
It's just that it gets. It's because it goes a long way, gets out of the way to show that it doesn't feel human.
Yeah, well, it's also like the hierarchy status.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
I understand.
So snobby.
I understand you have to have some manners because you're not living, only yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and even people that don't live in organized places, organized in terms of like civilizations and stuff.
Yeah.
They also have cultures and they also have their etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
But just putting it like that on the, this fork is specifically for this, and this is specifically for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're having soup, then just don't do that, or put this finger has to be here. It's just like these are all movements that don't look human to me.
Yes,
and going back to it, like I understand there needs to be rules, and there's a way to be polite and to show that you are like having consideration for others around you, but you just don't. It doesn't feel nice to just lose the whole human aspect of it.
Yeah, I think it also it's like being a show off. Like that's a huge fucking pet peeve of mine. There's a difference between being confident in who you are and what you do or whatever, and then being a show off.
Oh,
and
totally.
I cannot stand that, like that cockiness, because I think that's one thing that we also do need to change as like I work in a kindergarten and we're trying to instill confidence in children, is to be confident, but also I mean, it is a cheesy word to say, but be humble, because you can be like proud of who you are and what you're bringing to the table. That's a good thing to do. But to be overconfident and cocky, that is just it gets on my nerves so bad.
And to an extent, that's a fragile place to be. Fragile.
Yeah, exactly.
Because once your cockiness can support that, then you just don't know where else to go, or you don't know what else to do.
Then you're lost.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you're a mess.
Yeah.
And not the kind of mess that we are, because we're like a good mess. You're just going to be a lukewarm mess.
Yeah, we're a mess with potential.
Yes! I love that phrase. We're a mess with potential.
Mess with potential. I think that's something that people should also aspire to be.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be
We're going to get inspirational for a bit.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be a mess, but with potential.
Yes.
Because when you're a mess, you show that you're human.
And you have growth. Down to earth.
Who doesn't love character development?
Oh my god. That's one thing that I will say it is a pet peeve of mine as far as like movies go, when the characters are so flat and there's no dynamic to them, like when there's it's changing more now, but like when a character is just this person is a bad guy and this person is a good guy and there's no in betweens. I love that when they have like a bad guy and then you get to see like the human side of them. That whole dynamic, I love that.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. Mm-hmm. And it's also like people that don't start out like completely 100% good or 100% bad, and then just like find the balance or something.
Yeah,
like,
because that's human, right?
Yeah, totally. There are no shows that come into mind right now, but this podcast is not about shows.
No, exactly. It's about us stealing the spotlight.
But it is also about a reference of our first episode, like the drag queen branding situation thing.
Oh my god, yeah.
This also became like a meta podcast.
It is.
Like, because it's who doesn't love character development? Like, I think part of the thing that makes drag queens is that finding their own brand, at least in the show. Like, I don't know anything about drag that much, but it's just finding that thing, that potential, and just going for it.
Running with that, I think it's really good to be able to find that, because I think sometimes we focus on other things, and the other thing is like what you said about the confidence, and then like maybe you're not, like say for example you're really good at sports, and then you break your foot, and then your confidence is shattered, and it's not even confidence at one point, it's the cockiness, and that's shattered, and then you start thinking like, you're doing that whole like questioning your worth and stuff like that, and it's so good then to like think about what else am I interested in, and would I like to be caught up in DIY videos on Facebook or YouTube?
Trust me, you
don't. Or would I like to invest in orchids? Trust me, you do.
Plug in those orchids.
I mean,
forever.
Can I get a sponsorship? Is there somebody in Iceland that, I don't care if you're even abroad, send them to me. I will take care of them.
So, if you're listening and you're from abroad and you have exotic orchids, I'm not gonna say weird, but like exotic orchids, just send them to Jimmy.
I'm all about it.
Send Jimmy pictures of orchids.
Oh my god, I would love it.
He would probably like print them and frame them somewhere.
Oh, I have to sneeze.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back.
And yeah, one thing, when I had something like that with orchids once back home, when you emigrate, some of these obsessions can take a back seat because you just your main obsession becomes not getting deported. But I was obsessed, and I still am. If you could see my room right now, I still am obsessed with like analog cameras, like film cameras, like
that's a good one.
Yeah. So, and I would go to flea markets. Yeah.
He has 3
that
are sitting behind me right now.
Yes.
That I can see at least.
And back home, I had more. I would go to flea markets. Back then, I was working at an ad agency, a remote ad agency. That was before the pandemic, so I was working in my house. And I could buy things on Amazon and get them sent or whatever. Those were simpler times in communism. But
I have never heard that phrase before.
It's a concept.
Simpler times in communism.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's a concept. We'll explore that later. But yeah, I would get like cameras, and I would go to flea markets and all that. And every time that a new box would come into my house, I would get like serious judging looks from my mom. And just like, another camera? Really?
Your mom sounds like my alma.
I know. That's also why I'm remembering that. Because another camera? How many do you have? You're not going to use them all. I can and I will.
Yes.
Like, I don't have to use them all at the same time, but I can, take one and the other. Like, the ones I have are, one is like a panoramic frame. So it takes 2 photograms in the roll of film to make one large picture. So I have and the other one that I have that you can see is wide angle, and I also have like a Polaroid. So
cool.
So there are like certain times where you can use one and the other. So that's why you have different cameras.
And I think cameras are so cool because you're taking pictures and it's you're capturing history.
Yeah, and what I like about film is this old thing that people used to call the economy of film. So with cameras, I do it in my phone. Like if I take a picture of like mostly of myself, like I take several, and then I just like go, this is not the best one. This is not the bad. This is bad. Like my eyes were closed here and whatever. So we digitally would take a bunch of pictures and we just edit or cut or just like see, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing because all you're wasting in general is pixels or like space.
Yeah.
But when you have film, you have a physical thing that is finite, and you have to not spend it in whatever.
That's true.
I mean, you can spend it in whatever if you're at a party or something, But if you are taking pictures out, then you will just use it if you go on a trip or something, and then you can just develop it for at one point or another. And also another thing that I really 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 like with film is to make double exposures. So both of the cameras that I have there, they have an option that you put a button, like you move a button or something, and instead of the film moving to the next one, you can have the option of not doing that and shoot on top of the thing you already shot.
How cool is that?
Yeah, but I was very obsessed. I still kind of am.
Yeah.
But then again, getting deported is my career. Not getting deported is my career.
Stability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stability.
I get it.
So, but every time I would buy a camera, my mom would be like, "Another camera, really?" And once, because I didn't really like spending money on the development of film. Yeah. So I bought a film scanner, which was a very chunky box. I still have it back home in Venezuela. And it was like a kind of a thing, like, why do you need a scanner? Or we already have one. Like, do you really need a scanner? And I was like, yes, because this one has a thing for film, and I can just have the pictures in digital in my computer and not have to spend money on paper or on photo paper, which is super expensive. So I can just develop them and just do that. This was like, I was never really completely convinced.
Exactly. Mind your business. It's my obsession.
Exactly. But and this scanner in particular had a very high resolution. So when she's sometimes
a fancy bitch.
Yeah. I mean, you guys already know that by now. So sometimes when she needed like to scan documents, I would have like good resolution. She would just come to me like, "Can you scan this?" And I would be like, "But we have the multifunctional printer that can scan just as well." But I was just joking. I would scan these things, but
of course you would, because you would get your ass whooped.
Probably. My mom would just like throw the scanner in the scanner in the street.
Exactly.
Be like, "Oh, this is your scan."
Exactly.
No, she wouldn't do that. But I was like, no, you want my scanner with the nice resolution.
They always come crawling back.
How the tables turn.
Exactly. My god.
But it was so nice. Those were my orchids back then. And I had at some point I think I had like over 10 cameras.
That's a lot for cameras.
Yeah.
And did all of them work?
Yeah.
Because I know some people that just collect them because they are like kind of a collector.
No. I would use all of them.
That's kind of amazing.
I'll use all of them. There was I would even go to just like the version of the Venezuelan version of the dollar stores. So instead of being $1, it would be back then 1,000 bolivares because inflation.
There you go, inflation, bitches.
And sometimes I would just take, I'll just buy like film cameras that were there, just plastic, just plastic. And I had one of those that I really liked, and that camera in particular traveled more than I did, because I would just give it to friends. I would go abroad, and it's like, take pictures of your trip, however you like, but mostly horizontal. And me directing people work.
Surprise.
and when you come back, you give me the camera back, and I will take the roll of film out and take pictures on top of that. So we just have like, I had one album where it was just like pictures of Mexico City with pictures of my hometown, another one from I think London, and pictures of my hometown. All of those.
So like you were like double exposuring the pictures.
Yeah, so it would be
That's cool.
Other cities in the world.
Yeah.
And then my hometown.
How cool.
And I mean, they were not always nice pictures. because
but
film and just experimenting.
mm-hmm.
But that was nice, and it was just like, you don't have to bring me anything. Like,
yeah.
I mean, not like they ever had to, but
he was expecting it. No, just kidding.
But if you want to do something for me, here's a camera that you want to do this, and so a lot of people would say yes because it's a nice idea.
Yeah, it is a really cool idea because then it's exciting because I'm like gonna be obsessed with that idea now.
No, stick to orchids.
I'll just take pictures of orchids
and
then put them on top of other orchids.
Oh my God.
I'll just be going around to people's house and be like, "Can I just take a picture of your orchid?" When we were in choir,
Yeah.
Practicing at the dance school,
Yeah.
that there was an orchid in the little coffee break room. Okay, you don't remember it, but where people would go and get the water?
Yeah.
There were plants in there, and there was an orchid, and they weren't taking good care of it. So every time I would show up for practice, I would go and I would water it and check on it. I swear to God, I almost straight up one day was going to put it in my coat and walk out with it and be like... But the only thing, because I was like, listen, I will just nurse it back to health to the point where it feels really, really good and can bloom for them even. And then I'll bring it back. But then I just got so afraid that maybe there is somebody trying to take care of it. And then if I would do that, I'd take the opportunity away. Also, besides the fact that it is technically theft.
It's not technically. It's straight up in the
thing
theft
is,
alleyway.
I would bring it back. They just wouldn't know. If somebody would have been around, I would have asked them. But I just feel like they were not taking good enough care of it. Okay, one more quick orchid story. People are gonna be like, listen, let's fast forward to this stuff. But I got obsessed with the idea of also nursing them back to health. So, I got lucky one day. This woman posted that she had a few orchids. If you want to try and bring them to health, then feel free. So I was like, yes, I'll come over right now.
Like an orchid workshop.
Yeah, an orchid rehab.
Yeah,
okay. Essentially, which I probably need to go to rehab for this thing. But I didn't have a car, and I was like, I can't go on the bus with all these orchids because that's bad for them.
Oh.
So I went to my mother's house, not in Ada because she was in Copahoga then.
Yeah.
Went to her house. I didn't take the bus because I didn't have enough time to do that. So I took a taxi, paid for a taxi, and if anybody is listening here in Iceland, or if you're not, taxis are expensive, especially from where I live to Copahoga. I spent 4,000 kronor on the taxi ride.
Copahoga is another town.
Yeah.
So
little city.
So it's another city within the greater Reykjavik area.
Yes.
So he just did an across town taxi ride for orchids.
But listen, I got there, got my mom's car, drove then to the lady's house. Got there, half of the orchids were already dead. But I did get 7, so I was like, okay, maybe I can bring it back to life. Then I took them home. Then I had to drive back to my mom's house to get her so she could drop me off and then take her car.
Did you drop your orchid?
I took the orchids home.
Or you took her orchids to rehab them?
I took the lady's orchids, but she didn't want them anymore. She was like, you can try and nurse them back to health, but I don't want them anymore. Yeah. And there was only one.
That gives that whole other layer of obsession to this story, because I thought you were just taking one orchid to get repaired.
No.
To get nursed back to life. No, you just went to some lady's house to take her orchids so you could try and nurse them back to health. I mean, it's fine, but
I was obsessed with the idea of something being kind of broken and then you nurse it back to health. I mean, it sounds like I'm trying to work through some therapy. Yeah. When you say it, it's like, Do I got some issues I have to work through that I don't know about?
Is this a hobby or do I have to talk to somebody?
Now I definitely feel like we should not put this episode out because I do sound crazy now. That I hear myself.
I mean, we're 3 episodes in.
Oh my god.
They probably already figured that out.
Yeah,
this just confirms that.
All right.
So we're just gonna leave you guys with these orchid stories. Tell us about your obsessions if you ever listen to this podcast.
Oh please! And if you have orchids, do post pictures.
Yes, post pictures of his podcast. Of his podcast.
Yes,
because he has several podcasts. Oh my god, it's kind of late. Yeah. But so post pictures of your orchids to Jimi, and if you do lettering or are interested in lettering or film cameras, send pictures of your film cameras to me. And
if you got some stupid fucking DIYs or life hacks, let us know about it so we can judge you or judge ourselves.
Yeah. This is probably like this is like this rabbit holes of DIY things is what people probably feel about getting stuck in rabbit holes in TikTok.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I am not in TikTok because I'm way past that demographic.
But
I know.
As we
and
said
I have
earlier,
and I have
old.
accepted that I am really old for that app. Like I'll just leave it there. Like I know you exist, but I'm gonna keep my social distancing from this app.
I think part of me is like I find it a little bit intriguing, but I'm like, I don't have the energy for it.
Same.
I really don't. And I'm like, I like to dance, but I'm not gonna learn a stupid little dance just to repost it. I'm like,
no way.
No.
Yeah, but these rabbit holes are basically the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
But the almost middle-aged version. Oh my god, as I say that. Oh, no. Almost middle-aged. But yeah, we're just gonna leave you with that. And so tell us about your obsessions. Yes. On social media. You hear that in a bit. So you can see where you can find us. Send us a line on Gmail or send us a Gmail.
I will always always mock you for that.
This is a running joke. When we get to the 100th episode, we'll show you where this Gmail joke comes from.
They'll be like, what is he talking about Gmail? Why do they keep laughing? It's not that funny.
It's not that funny.
It's not that funny, but it is that funny.
Alright, so until next time.
Bye bitch. Thanks for tuning in for this messy episode of Listen. If you want to share the spotlight with us and tell us how you feel, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at lstn pod listenpod, or send us an email at lstnpod@gmail.com. Until then, bye bitch!